Hapkoff, and I'm here with Sky Barkis.
Hello, everyone.
Today, we're here to talk about the brand new feature we have for Xapa AI, your AI coach for the moments that matter. Let's get started. So I'm going to start off telling you a little bit about who Xapa is and what kind of platform we are. Xapa is an AI-first, gamified professional development platform for soft skill development. Built for the enterprise, it's really built to scale. Xapa AI delivers personalized coaching at scale. Every employee gets an AI mentor and AI trainers to really help you with that soft skill development. Xapa delivers this in micro learning, in the flow of work, which drives continuous growth and performance for every employee in the organization. We help organizations scale soft skill learning, strengthen collaboration, and build resilience across cultures that generate business impact. You can see here in our screenshot that we have the platform available across multiple different clients, from web to desktop to apps that run on iOS and Android. So it's available for anyone that wants to access the platform for this valuable AI mentor coaching, as well as the trainers. All right, in today's market, we're hearing a lot of news and announcements about certain things that are happening. We're truly in a transformational time frame. One of the key things that we see today is that most employees that work in the enterprise are all very much desiring more AI training. How do they develop their own soft skill development so that they can stay in the game, they can be more productive? So most employees today are actually requesting this from their management and their leaders today. They want to stay relevant and understand how to leverage and utilize this so they can stay very productive.
Yeah, and only about 10% of human resource and learning professionals say their employees have the skills needed to meet business goals in the next 1 to 2 years. Leadership, AI proficiency, and core technical expertise top the list of shortages, creating a real growing mismatch between ambition and ability.
As AI starts to reshape the workforce, mastering soft skills like communication, critical thinking may be even more crucial than technical know-how.
And developing soft skills in leadership alongside practical applications of generative artificial intelligence, that we call Gen AI, will be the main focus for employers in 2025. Very important.
And last but not least, a new LinkedIn report highlights significant shifts in workplace skills, with adaptability and technical expertise emerging as key priorities for employees navigating an AI-driven change. This really means that a lot of human beings have the strong desire to learn much more about AI and stay relevant in the workforce. And so leadership has to start listening and applying applications like Xapa to their employees, giving them that opportunity to continue their own growth. So today we're going to be introducing SmartTools, which is added to our AI agent. Now, we launched this agent about 6 to 8 weeks ago, which allows users to go in and write in their own queries and their own prompts out of the gate, and it's been providing extreme value. Now, after we've had this out there in the market for, again, about 6 to 8 weeks, we've heard back from a number of customers where they wanted more value to help them get started a little bit easier. Xapa AI SmartTools as that core functionality. The first category of that are smart prompts, and this is for the beginner to Xapa who doesn't know how to fully engage or get started with the Xapa AI. We also developed another category called communication templates. This is going to be communication templates that are pre-written templates in email, as well as other versions available for instant messaging. So depending on the moment that you have in the environment, sometimes an email, very professionally written, can be the most appropriate. And other times, a quick instant message might be the most appropriate thing to do. We've also created a category called Situational Acumen. This allows people to understand how to read the room, how to understand people work styles, how to adjust to those, how to understand other elements that are going on in the office environment. And since the system's all built around AI, it continues to learn from other employees on those situations that are occurring. And last but not least, a great feature called role playing. This can be done in two fashions. One, if you're the leader or the manager of a number of employees in the organization, we have a number of prompts that are specifically designed for a manager to talk with one of their employees. And we also have an individual contributor role-playing option. So if an individual contributor needs to talk to their manager about key elements. So getting into role-playing can be very helpful to go back and forth with your agent so that you get really in tune and you're speaking with the right compassion and the right tact for every situation that might occur in the enterprise.
As you can see from what Leon said, our smart tools really help employees in all these different situations and workplace challenges, and really streamlines their ability to interact with the AI and really meet goals and get knowledge that they need in the moment.
All right, so let's do a deeper dive on smart prompts. So we're going to actually demo some of this for you guys here today, which is going to be very exciting. So again, smart prompts are fast, practical guidance in the flow of work. These are really easy for employees that get stuck or not sure what to ask the AI. Usually their time is very short. They may be in back-to-back meetings, but since we have this available in a mobile app, it's very easy to literally pull the coach out of your pocket and ask really quickly. Some examples of these smart prompts are going to be things like, I'm a new manager. How do I build trust with my team? Or what's the best way to escalate an issue without burning bridges? The result of this is going to be smart prompts can keep employees moving forward, delivering fast. You can be context aware and coaching that's going to build confidence in the moments that matter. So Sky, let's take a look at this and do a deep dive on how this overall functionality works.
Sounds great. So I'm going into our platform. This is the web version. And as you can see in the left navigation, we have Xapa here. This is how you access our AI agent. So I simply click on it and it gives me an input field. And when I click here, it brings up those smart prompts that Leon talked about, all those different ones that we'll be looking at individually. But first of all, I'm just going to try typing in a fun question. So you can see that there's a free-form way to interact with this, and you can ask it pretty much anything about people or about soft skills learning. Okay, so I'm going to start off with just a kind of a fun little question here. I'm going to ask, who is Xapa's CEO? Okay, so let's see. So the agent's going to take that question. It's going to look into our knowledge base and directory and give me an answer here. Okay, great. So our CEO is Christine Heckert. Absolutely correct. She is a tech veteran, all-around Renaissance human. Absolutely. She's great to work with, and this is a great answer. So one of the important things in the answer here is that it gives communication style, work style, conflict management style. Now, these are really important when you're thinking about how you're going to interact with this person. So it's not only telling me who she is, but also some key things about working with her. So the communication style, she's a driver. So when I'm talking to her, I want to be direct. I want to focus on goals, not beat around the bush. Her work style is a seer. She's a visionary, creative person. Absolutely. Thrives on big ideas, new possibilities. Conflict management style. She's a collaborator. So she wants to really have win-win situations for everybody involved. So this tells me a lot about Christine. It tells me about how I can work with her, and just this type of answer you can get from pretty much any of your colleagues. And one thing to remember is this information is contextual to your organization. So if you're a company using Xapa, the knowledge base, the directory, everything is siloed to your organization and very secure. So when you ask these questions, it's all about your organization. So let's go ahead and look at the smart tools. So we just talked about smart prompts. So here are some of those smart prompts that Leon talked about. You can choose from a number of them, right? But let's go ahead and do this one called, what are good soft skills to develop if I want to be promoted? Because, most people, they really want to grow their career. They want to be promoted, learn how to get ahead, right? So if I click on that submits it automatically without typing to the agent, and it's going to come up with an answer for me.
I love how comprehensive the answers are. It really helps the user quite a bit.
Absolutely. So as you can see, absolutely what Leon is saying, very comprehensive. So If promotion is your goal, soft skills are your secret weapon. Absolutely. We believe that as Xapa for sure. So it tells you about communication as an important part of that. Having a growth mindset, being resilient, navigating difficult conversations. These are all key for getting ahead, relating to people, growing yourself. And furthermore, you can see in these answers, it actually gives these little links here, how to show up. This is an experience, which is one of our lessons in the platform. So you can click on any of these and get more information. So if I click on how to show up, it's going to close the agent, take me directly to this experience. Now, experiences are made up of what we call quests, which are micro learning modules that you can do on each of these subjects within the main subject of how to show up. So the power of professional presence, body language and nonverbal communication. So you can click these. They each take about 5 minutes to do. There are 5 in this experience. So if you go through this, that'll really help you with that first tenet of communication and growth in becoming, in working towards a promotion, right?
Yeah.
So this is a great way for you to learn. You can see you have to do them in a certain order, and it's a really great way to get additional knowledge beyond what the AI agent is telling you.
That's right. I love the micro learning aspect of this, because one of the things at Xapa is we ask every user to spend 5 minutes a day. That's all it takes, is 5 minutes a day. This is called micro learning. You may have heard of that. But 5 minutes a day will lean towards the user gaining these very important soft skill over time.
Great. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next of our smart tools here.
That's right.
Which is
communication templates. So now we're on communication templates. Very, very exciting. It seems pretty reasonable, right, to have communication templates. Now, what we've done out there is we've created communication templates for the most common emails and instant messages that may occur in the work environment. So there's been a lot of research behind this one, but what we did was choose the most important scenarios that happen in the enterprise environment to build these. Why these are very important is that they really allow the user to understand that clarity matters. The right tone and the right context is critical for some important emails, especially if you're escalating an issue to a manager. You want to make sure you're putting the right tactful approach in place for the email. You don't want to burn any bridges. If you have a situation where you need to ask for more support on a project, you can go through this and come up with a good template. If you are trying to get performance feedback on yourself or someone on your team, that can also be helpful to use this. Or again, as I mentioned earlier, the escalation request. These templates can really add way more value to an employee, giving them that level of confidence and knowledge about how to tactfully send these important pieces. So Sky, let's go ahead and show them a quick demo of how communication templates work within the agent.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm back in the agent now. I'm going to go to Smart Tools and I'm going to click on communication templates. Now, as you can see, we've divided this into email templates and instant message templates, like Leon mentioned. So the email ones are formatted for kind of a more formal type of a message, and the instant message ones are formatted kind of the way you would write an instant message without a subject line, an intro, and all that kind of stuff, right? So one thing I want to point out is that our communication template ideas here, they're all situations which may not be the easiest types of communication for people to just write off the cuff. A lot of these are challenging situations. It's escalation requests, cross-department collaboration, issue resolution. So these are all items that we're trying to really help people with situations they might not be comfortable with and give them a very nice communication to send out, very professional, very smooth and confident. So let's say that I'm going to send a performance feedback to someone. I can click on that and it's basically going to come up and it's going to show me a template for that. Now, let's wait for the response here for a moment. Okay, so one thing that's great about this is that first it does a little intro that's talking about, hey, it's great that you're asking this question. I'm going to give you a template, but here's some actual, another one of those experience links that can tell you more about kind of the theory behind how this was written and why it was written that way, right? So down below now, we have the actual template. So you can see in brackets, it's giving you places to fill in, the name of your name, the name of the person you're sending it to, sign off at the end. And then it has these little areas here where it says fill in the blank with, for this one example, specific positive behavior result, e.g. how you handled the client presentation last week, so it gives you the template, but also ideas on key points to bring up and how to handle them in that communication.
That's great.
Right? So let's say you like this template and you go, okay, yeah, I want to go ahead and use that. That's great. I can just click the copy button down here, copies it to the clipboard, and then you can paste this into an email all ready to send, fill in the blanks, and you've got a great professional communication that may not have been something that you could have very easily written yourself. So
that's outstanding. Gosh, I got to tell you, I wish I had this 10 years ago. I wish I had this kind of functionality to really understand how to deal with these situations. With my life and my career at this point, I had to learn a lot of this the hard way, and it's not easy, but having a platform like this that can help guide me just a little bit enough to be very effective would have been extremely valuable for me earlier in my career. I'm glad new managers and new employees are going to be able to utilize this today. So that's very exciting.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that. Great. So, all right, let's go on back to the deck here.
Okay.
And let's go to our next one.
All right. Our next one is situational acumen. And that is so critical. But when you're in a tough situation at work, has anyone ever taught you how to read the dynamics of the workplace environment, read the room, understand different elements about the people that are there? This can allow you to navigate complex situations at work. It can allow you to build trust and learn how to influence in a very positive way so you can build better relationships with people. That overall is going to allow you to reduce conflict that is occurring. But there's a number of great prompts here, from how can I get better at reading workplace dynamics, which is a great one, to what types of conflict typically arise in projects and how can I prevent them. Let's say you're a seasoned project manager and you come into a new organization. Well, every organization deals with things a little bit differently. That's their culture. So going in here and knowing that the Xapa AI has been trained all on every individual company's culture and all the people that are there can really give you the best advice before you have to deal with it. So very, very valuable tool. So Sky, why don't we take a look at this one in action so people can see how well this is working?
Absolutely. So I'm back in the agent. Let's go to our smart tools and let's select situational acumen. Okay. So this one, you can see down below here, we have a great assortment of different questions that you can ask. Let's go ahead and ask one of these. Let's see. How can I get better at reading workplace dynamics? For some people, reading the room and figuring out, what's going on with different people is a really great one, right? So I'm going to click on that. Agent's thinking about it here for a moment. Okay, great question. Reading workplace dynamics is basically the adult version of figuring out who's picking teams in gym class. Totally. All right, so here's some key things for this situation. Observe, don't listen. Pay attention to who speaks up. Absolutely. Learn to spot conflict early, keeping an eye on things. Getting curious about work styles, and you can learn right here about what those are and how to deal with different work styles and even what your work style is, which is really important. Practicing self-awareness, no mirror required. Yeah, the better you know your own strengths and blind spots, the easier it is to understand others. Totally. Don't avoid tough conversations. Yeah, that's something I know we'd all avoid that, but those conversations can sometimes be the most valuable things, right?
That's right.
So as you can see, another very comprehensive answer and additional places to go within our platform to learn more about each of these. And, so you've got this great info here, but you can learn a lot more about each.
I got to tell you, I just love the links. That's our AI trainers working with the AI coach. But when you get those links to brush up on that soft skill development, that is so helpful because it's in context with the response here. So if I'm a brand new 28-year-old into a company, and I don't understand how to manage workplace conflict, it allows me to now go train myself on those soft skills so I have the understanding and context around that. It can be very, very powerful.
Yeah. So, combined with the agent and these links to the different experiences, you can either, just stay at the surface level, or you can dive deep into something that you really want to learn more about, or something that sounds more interesting to you.
Absolutely. Outstanding. All right, let's go into the next smart prompt category, which is actually probably my favorite out of all of them, which is role playing. And let us walk you guys through this more specifically. So, growth comes from practice. We know most things in this world, if it's sports, business, raising kids, the more practice you can get at it, the better you're going to perfect it. So getting into role playing for any difficult conversation you may need to have in a new culture or a new environment can be very valuable. It's going to be realistic. It's going to allow you to adapt and change things, and it's going to give you hints on how to say things. Now, we provide these prompts for managers, so any managers or leaders in a company, so anyone that has employees reporting to them, and so they can learn how to deal with tough conversations with employees, as well as individual contributors. So people that are not managing employees, but they have a boss above them and they need to possibly bring up difficult conversations. So they can be things like, if you're a manager, giving constructive performance feedback. Sometimes that can be very challenging, especially if that employee has a number of pros and a few cons. Like, how do they get them better? How do you say that with the right compassion and the right empathy? How do you lay that out? To, if I'm an individual contributor, to, I'm having challenges with difficult deadlines. I'm just not able to get that work done on time. And you don't want to bring it up, but you need to bring it up, and so how do I do that? What's the most constructive way to actually do that, where it comes across really well? So practice the tough conversations before they happen, and you're only going to get better and better at it, so you can really perform well and look good with the right approach. So Sky, let's take a look at this one. This one I'm very excited about. It does give you the capability of going very deep in your role playing or staying in a very quick situation. So go ahead, Sky.
That's right. So here we are back in the agent under our smart tools, and I chose role playing. Now there's, like Leon said, you can do this as a manager or as an individual contributor, right? So let's go ahead and act as a manager here. And I'm going to click on giving constructive performance feedback. This is always something that can be a little challenging to get the right tone and, work with the person and have a productive conversation. So I'm going to click on this one, and it's going to go ahead and put together a little role-playing situation for me here that we can work with. Now, one thing to really keep in mind here is that I, as the person interacting with the AI agent, I chose that I'm a manager, okay? And as you can see in this description, the AI agent is going to act as the employee. So it's going to be like the employee talking back to me as we have this conversation, right?
That's right.
So it has us dive into the conversation here. The employee is going to say to me now, as this is basically the agent acting as the employee speaking to me, the manager, right? So it says, I know you want to talk about my performance. I've been putting in a lot of hours, and I think my recent projects show how committed I am. I'm not sure what else you expect from me, honestly. So what I'm going to do here as the manager speaking to the employee, to the agent, I'm going to give kind of a simplistic response that might not be the best thing, but this will give the agent a chance as the employee and as the agent to give me some feedback on my response so I can better develop this conversation. So I'm just going to say, I really need you to do better, right?
So
not very constructive, not very empathetic.
Right, not empathetic, and not very clear, and not very specific. And so this is where we're going to really see it acting like a coach, right?
Right.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so Yeah, it's not too happy with my response here. Oof, straight to the tough love. Well, you're being direct. I was being very direct. Your feedback lacks two things: clarity. What do they need to learn on? And, some other things. So I didn't tell them exactly what they did wrong and if they're valued or not, right? So immediately the agent is giving me pointers to have a better conversation. Start with strengths, recognize their hard work. They did say they've been working hard, right? I didn't even acknowledge that, but I'm being reminded here that's empathy and understanding and clarity is really important, right? So be specific. So if they need to do better, how do they need to do better, right? Rather than I just need them to do better. And then staying supportive. I wasn't very supportive, obviously, right? So, and it even has some, it's even recommending one of our experiences, constructive feedback without the cringe. Definitely my response was cringeworthy.
It didn't like your response at all. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So anyway, so there's an employee, a response for the employee here. Okay, I hear you, but I wish you'd tell me what I'm not doing well instead of just saying, I need to do better. I work hard, but I can't fix what I don't know about. Absolutely. If an employee told me that, I would say, you're absolutely right. Let me try that again, right? So you can see how this back and forth with the agent, me as a manager, the agent as the employee, can really help me learn about better employee relations, how to be empathetic, how to constructively work with them to really improve them and even my role.
That's right. Yeah, that's the thing I like most about the role-playing feature is it does allow you to go very deep. Like you can craft this, go back and forth multiple times, recraft your message, which is essentially the practice that I talked about, right? You're able to go back and forth and practice, and then you're going to get it just right because the AI, you can even ask, Sky, do me a favor, ask the AI, what is the best way for me to respond to get down to the root of the issue? And let's see how it responds here, because it will help you on the spot when you're not exactly sure how to respond.
Yeah, so you can go straight off what the agent gave back to you, or you can kind of ask the question differently and improvise a little bit.
Right. And then you can dive right back into that same role playing. So you can see it's given really good advice in how to start that conversation by recognizing something positive about the individual, be more specific about the issue. So have clarity and talk about certain facts or certain missed items that may have come up. And then make sure you're approaching this as a two-way conversation. You're not speaking over the individual, but they're giving, chance for them to speak as well, which can be very, very impactful. So again, I love this particular feature because it really allows me to go back and forth quite a bit.
Yeah. And one thing to really keep in mind here is that all these answers, again, they're within your client instance. If you're using the software, it's all within your company. The knowledge that it's pulling from, it's not just all the knowledge out there in the internet. It's very specialized knowledge from Xapa that's designed to best answer these questions in context and provide additional learning.
That's right.
For the user.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Real big added value for the enterprise workforce today to get into these features, start using them right away. So, all right. So that is our new smart tools that are added into Xapa's AI. We're very excited about this. This again is going to be available on web, iOS, and Android desktop across the board. What this overall delivers for people is allows them to practice their role playing in real time, as we mentioned. It's ready to use communication templates given your environment. And since the AI knows everything about you, your company, all the people there, their communication styles, and other very key important elements, it's always going to give you the best advice, which is also a key part of that. The AI has been trained on all that specific information for your company. The situational acumen is huge, understanding how to read the room or how to read the vibe. One organization could be very, very tight about certain things, whereas another organization may be a little bit more loose about certain things. So understanding the situational acumen that's in your own company's enterprise environment can be critical to navigating the political minefield that you may have in that organization, or reaping the rewards and the successes so you can rapidly be promoted in that organization can be a huge value. And for brand new users, we have smart prompts to help them get started and help them ease into utilizing AI so they can be comfortable with it and use it at their own time and their own value across the board. So overall, we turn routine tasks into growth opportunities. You guys saw that how we always provide from our AI trainers a link to brush up on that soft skill development so you can become a better person and utilize this technology better for your interactions with all the employees that you work with, your coworkers, the people above you, and the people that you work directly with. It prepares you to handle high stress situations or high stakes situations in different meetings and everyday trust building. We actually have a lot of content on trust. Trust within an organization and building trust with your teams can be very valuable to the success of your journey within a company. It helps you respond thoughtfully with the right empathy and the right vulnerability in certain situations. So again, we're very excited about this new smart tool expansion into the Xapa AI. And what's next for us is a number of additional functionality we're going to be adding into the AI. We're going to be expanding its short and long-term memory. The long-term memory is going to start understanding key relationships in between individuals, your core people that you tend to work with, but it also identifies people that you don't work with, and it may promote some of those people if it thinks it can add value to any projects that you may be working on. We're also going to be allowing users to set goals, short-term goals and long-term goals, where then the AI coach will proactively, through agentic AI, will be reaching out to you at the moments that matter to allow you to make slight little adjustments. So think of that as an AI guardian angel, pushing you a little bit here and there to fulfill those goals that you have for your own career path. This can be extremely valuable for any person or the overall organization if all employees are hitting on all cylinders across the board. That can be nothing but value for yourself and the organization itself. So I want to thank you for your time today. It's been a real privilege to be here, introduce our new feature set. Sky, I want to thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure developing this with you and our engineering team. Thanks again for all of your time, everybody. Take care and look for our next video and blog that we're going to put out on the Xapa platform. Thanks again, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.